Silver just crashed 13% in 48 hours right in the middle of a war. But look, I'm not worried. I mean, the Strait of Hormuz is completely blocked. Brent crude oil blew past like $96 a barrel today. And how markets are reacting is normal. It's expected. Look, I'm not going to tease you with the reasons. I'm just going to tell you exactly up front what's going on, and then you can decide if you want to spend another 5 minutes watching this video. So first, Wall Street algorithms are automatically liquidating paper silver contracts because surging oil prices just destroyed any chance of the Federal Reserve cutting interest rates. Second, this is a deliberate shakeout designed to make you panic sell your physical assets back to institutions for cheap, allegedly. Third, this is the exact same setup that happened in 1973, right before metals went on a historic multi-year tear. So let's figure this out together. My name's Nick. I've been a professional investor and unprofessional trader for 24 years. Before we start, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not an inducement to buy or sell any assets, especially not paper silver contracts. And most importantly, do not take financial advice from some random dude on YouTube. Right, so right now, the mainstream financial media is aggressively pushing a very simple narrative. They tell you that geopolitical conflict automatically equals a massive safe haven demand, which is complete nonsense. I mean, over the long term, it's not nonsense, but over the short term, it generally is. And for a second, it did look like they were going to be right, by the way. When US and Israeli forces launched strikes on Iran and the Strait of Hormuz was shut, Brent crude oil spiked up like 30%, roughly 20% of the world's global oil supply goes through the Strait of Hormuz, so that's why it spiked. And silver also initially spiked above $96 an ounce. Retail investors piled in, assuming that it was the ultimate bull market, right? It was like they were jumping into Bitcoin. We were going to like $200 per ounce for silver. Of course, they conveniently forgot that institutions controlling Comex, they love to trap retail, allegedly. Because almost immediately after the spike, silver completely collapsed. It fell several percent in a single day, wiping out the entire safe haven premium and dragging the price down into the low 80s eventually. Which, by the way, guys, I warned you about that happening just before it actually happened. So look, let's talk about exactly what is happening today. This all comes down to macroeconomics, the plumbing that Wall Street uses to trap inexperienced investors. You see, silver has a dual identity. It's half investment metal and half industrial metal. When oil hits $100 a barrel, it acts like a massive tax on the global economy. So American consumers are already feeling this tax. Average gas prices in America are up to over like $3.50 a gallon, which is insane. Goldman Sachs is already warning that if these oil prices stick around, annual inflation is going to heat up back to like 3%, which is crazy because they just started getting it down and now it's going back up. I mean, what's going on? Anyway, when inflation threatens to come back, the Federal Reserve gets completely paralyzed, especially in a situation when the employment market is bad and inflation is rising. So look, just a few weeks ago, the market was pricing in multiple rate cuts for this year. Now those expectations have been completely destroyed. Because of the war, also, the US dollar index just shot up to its highest level since November of 2024. And this is the catch that not many people are talking about. When the dollar spikes, Wall Street's high-frequency trading algorithms automatically start dumping paper silver contracts, among other things, of course, but they start dumping paper silver. And they don't care about the war, they don't care about physical supply, and they certainly don't care about your portfolio. They just trade the dollar correlation. And they can crush the price because the Comex paper market is just an absolute joke. We know this, right? Look, the March futures contract alone represents like 528 million ounces of exposure, I believe. I'm doing these numbers from memory, so I could be wrong here. And there's like 80 million ounces left in the vault. So basically more than 5 times the actual physical supply concentrated into paper contracts. That means if someone there's more than 5 times people holding paper contracts than there is actual supply in the vaults, which is insane. So the traders dumping these contracts are not selling actual metal because they never owned the metal in the first place. They're just dumping paper trash to drive down the spot price into the ground. Meanwhile, the actual physical supply of silver is just vanishing. But you know, maybe this means that the silver bull market is officially over. Look, it could be. This isn't financial advice. It could be, but we've seen this exact same setup before, right? In 1973, we had a massive oil embargo. Global oil prices quadrupled from $3 to $12 a barrel. Arthur Burns, the Fed chairman at the time, admitted that the manipulation of oil prices came at the absolute worst time possible for the United States. Inflation surged to 12% and the stock market lost like 45% of its value, which is an absurd amount. And during that initial shock, precious metals saw violent, terrifying volatility. I mean, they crashed. People panic sold, right? But once the dust settled and the market realized that the Federal Reserve was trapped in this stagflationary nightmare, gold and silver went on an absolute tear. And, that's what we're facing right now, stagflation in the US. And then also during the 1979 Iranian revolution, it happened again. Oil surged and gold spiked like 400% to over 840 an ounce. And that was like the biggest 2-year gain on record. So the underlying mechanism here is exactly the same. The truth is stagflation is coming. And when it comes, oil dies and silver flies. And gold too. I mean, gold flies too. But look, if you want to know why I think silver outperforms gold over the next few years, watch this video from my main channel today. I cover all of that. It should be up on your screen right now. I'll see you in the next one.